Welcome back. Nuclear medicine is a rapidly growing subset of radiology, which involves the administration of radioactive pharmaceuticals by technologists to aid in the diagnosis and treatment of diseases. This field offers attractive salaries and abundant job opportunities. Notably, Bronx Community College hosts one of just three accredited programs in New York State. Joining us now is the Program Director of Nuclear Medicine Technology at Bronx Community College, Grace Tursi-Wenzler. Grace, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you so much for having me.
Now, can you provide an overview of what Nuclear Medicine Technologists does and the role they play in diagnosing and treating diseases?
Absolutely. So it's changed a lot over the last maybe 10, 20 years. And the fact that we really just used to help diagnose disease in a non-invasive way. So rather than having to physically open a patient up to see what's going on, we can now really determine the function of either organs or cells, and now specifically even tumor cells or diagnosing cancer. So that's really been a huge improvement of the field of nuclear medicine. But now we're actually even starting to target cells to really treat them and kill cancer cells and things like that as well. So it's also turned therapeutic over the last couple of years, which is exciting.
What sets the Nuclear Medicine Technology program at Bronx Community College apart from others? And I also want to add, congratulations in just being one of three. That's amazing.
Thank you.
And it's so cool that we have that here in the Bronx. So you could just, explain what sets this program apart from others?
Absolutely. So I think we're really a hidden gem, which is exciting. So like you said, we're only one of three programs in the whole state. So there's a program in Long Island, Malloy College, and then upstate in Buffalo. So there's really nothing in between. So it's exciting that we're putting out technologists really in this area, Manhattan area, Bronx, which is great. But it's exciting that we're also an associate's program. So students, once they have their prerequisites and get accepted, it's really just 2 years from that point in order to become certified and licensed as a nuclear medicine technologist.
Oh, wow, that's awesome. And it provides so much accessibility to people, so that's something that I love to hear.
Absolutely.
Now, how has the demand for nuclear medicine technologists evolved amidst the COVID-19 pandemic?
It is massively improved. So when I graduated, it was around 2010, and there was a shortage of jobs in the New York area just because it was kind of saturated at that point. So over the years, though, it's really been expanding the field itself, which has been growing. And then when the pandemic hit, a lot of healthcare workers in general left the healthcare field. So that opened up a lot of positions in nuclear medicine, while we also had this new portion of our field that was opening called theranostics that, again, really allows us to expand upon cancer treatment and diagnosis. So as the COVID-19 pandemic was happening, that portion of our field was kind of expanding, leading to this huge opening of jobs in the field of nuclear medicine.
And I want to expand on that. What opportunities does this present for graduates of the program? And is there maybe something that the program does to help graduates in this regard? Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Absolutely. So the salaries have been incredible. The last 3 years, I would say especially, we've seen a huge jump in salary just because the jobs are in such demand right now, again, which is excellent. So as far as the students, they've been able to really obtain jobs pretty much wherever they want. Most of the students do stay in the New York area, but they're not obliged to do that as long as they, work out something with the Department of Health in a different state. They could theoretically work anywhere in the United States. So that's been exciting for job opportunities to see where students, go and progress. So that's been really exciting with the high job market demand, seeing students change jobs, in the process. So that's been great. So in addition to try to offer more job opportunities, we try to get students to rotate through a number of facilities during their internship so that they get to see, outpatient centers, inpatient, hospital settings to see which they kind of prefer, and again, allow them to network and market a little bit better. Also, we just created a computed tomography certification, so students can also, if they choose, obtain this additional certification, allowing them to work in other areas of nuclear medicine as well.
Now, you talked about the internships. Can you expand on that a little bit more? Because the program itself is pretty exciting, but to actually have a little bit more hands-on training or experience is even more exciting. So can you tell us a little bit more about those internships and what they require?
Absolutely. So during the second year of the program, students actually get to go work hands-on in different facilities in the nuclear medicine department. So we have a ton of different clinical affiliates, mostly in the Bronx, Manhattan area, where students rotate through to obtain their competencies, so demonstrating certain skills of different types of studies in nuclear medicine, and again, really getting a feel for what they like the best and what type of environment they want to work in. So right now, our students actually obtain 1,000 nuclear medicine hours in the clinical component, rotating through different facilities, getting that experience.
Now, in what ways does the program emphasize radiation safety and patient care, ensuring that graduates are well equipped to provide quality care while prioritizing safety? And I want to expand on that a little bit more because you mentioned during COVID a lot of people were leaving, and I imagine it had a lot to do with safety for themselves. So can you talk about how you teach students to prioritize that?
Absolutely. It's definitely the priority of the program to expand and teach students how to not only protect the patient from radiation safety and just healthcare and patient safety in general, but of course how to protect yourself as a technologist as well. So that is probably the biggest portion of our didactic coursework that we teach is radiation safety and protection. And then now we've added so much additional just healthcare precautions, especially in lieu of COVID, and just making sure that students are adequately prepared and trained both in the didactic and clinical settings.
Could you share some insights into the board examinations that students are eligible to sit for upon completing the program and becoming licensed nuclear medicine technologists?
Absolutely, and I apologize for the letters because there's so many acronyms in nuclear medicine. So we actually have 2 different board exams for nuclear medicine, which is unusual. There's only a very few healthcare professions that do, but students only have to take and pass one of them. We recommend both, but that's a separate story. But either way, there are 2 different board exams that students can take to become licensed as a nuclear medicine technologist. One is the ARRT and the other is the NMTCB exam. We ensure that students are going to be adequately prepared to take and pass those exams once they graduate from the program. So that's really one of our primary goals. So in addition, now with the additional computed tomography, it's known as CAT scan certification. Once they pass their primary radiologic science, like their nuclear medicine exam, they can then sit for their CAT scan exam also. So they could potentially leave with all of those certifications.
Well, that's amazing. I'm so shocked that this is right here in the Bronx. And I think that's so amazing, especially since when we think about Bronx and education, oftentimes people feel that it's very limited, especially with community college, and to know that there's something like this in a community college is amazing. Can you just tell us a little bit about the importance of utilizing our community colleges, especially for experiences like this?
Absolutely. I mean, there are so many, again, hidden gems, I feel on these community college campuses that not everybody knows about. So I so appreciate the opportunity to be here and share a little bit about it. But there are a ton of programs, especially in the health field, which I guess I'm more familiar with it, but there are so many programs on these community college campuses that allow you to get these certifications and really make great salaries with a lot of job flexibility. And I think that it's definitely worth exploring.
Yes, and I definitely I started at community college, and I definitely think it's so helpful. I know people have this idea about it, but, just speaking with you here today, I'm even shocked about what's available. So I want to thank you so much for joining us and sharing, with our community about this program, because I think it's something that people need to know that they have accessible to them. So thank you.
Thank you so much for letting me be here. I so appreciate it.
For more information, you can visit the website at bcc.cuny.edu. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back with more Open after this.